discuss legal and personal matters. The next portion is a public hearing. The reason is Verizon Cable franchise renewal. And Joe?
Good evening. This is a public hearing of the Borough Council regarding cable franchise renewal for the Borough of Brookfield. This is a public hearing held in pursuit of Section 626 of the Federal Cable Act, which sets forth the process for franchise renewal. The borough's current franchise agreement with Verizon is within the industry norm renewal window, and the borough is beginning the process of renewing the franchise. This public hearing is part of the preliminary portion of the franchise renewal, in which the borough reviews the cable operator's past performance and identifies the borough's future cable-related community needs. As such, as part of the public hearing, we invite comments from any citizens who wish to speak regarding either or both of the aforementioned subjects. Franchise renewal is the best opportunity for municipalities to assert their rights with respect to their cable operator and to obtain important benefits in return for granting the cable operator the right to use their public right-of-ways. These benefits include a state-of-the-art cable system now and in the future, strong customer service standards, free services to community facilities, better reporting requirements from the cable operator, maximize franchise fees, public educational, governmental channels if desired, paid capital support if desired, legal protections of the right-of-ways, and better mechanisms to enforce the franchise agreement. These are just some of the potential benefits available through the franchise renewal. Citizens may address these items or any other cable-related items that are important to them. We will now open the hearing for public comments. And then just some context. The Verizon agreement is a 5-year agreement. We did the same process last year with Comcast. Comcast was a 10-year agreement. Our agreement expires this year with Verizon. We have retained special legal counsel to help secure the new agreement, something we've done for decades now. I have yet, this public hearing was advertised. I didn't receive any correspondence or concerns from any citizens that were unable to attend tonight. But it's the same parameters as the last agreement that we had before you. There's a 5% commission that's paid back to the borough for franchise fees that we receive quarterly.
And that does not include the wireless, this is just cable, correct?
Correct. Doesn't, no streaming services or anything like that, or internet, it's just cable television. So I would list if there's any public comments.
Are there any public comments in regards to this issue?
That's the hearing.
Okay, all right, the hearing's concluded then.
We'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Short commercial. Thanks, Joe.
We start at 7, so you got 5 minutes. Yeah. John.
Mr. Tolmer, do you have a comment?
No.
Mrs.
Always.
Tolmer, do you have a comment about Mr. Tolmer?
All stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Kids came home where it didn't have it.
Pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Stay standing for a moment of silence for the sick and the currently deceased in Bridgeville. All right, roll call.
Mr. Maloney.
Here.
Mr. Pashowski.
Here.
Mr. Colosimo. Here. Mr. Ferry. Here. Mr. Franchik.
Here.
Mr. Petroselli, absent. Mr. Sarasnik. Here. Mayor Copeland. Here. Solicitor McDermott. Here. Engineer Powell. Here. Chief James.
Here.
Chief Castain.
Here.
And Chief Miller.
Here.
Any public comments? John McCants, please state your name and address, please.
Okay. John McCants, 235 May Avenue, Bridgeville. I'm here to give a little a report regarding the car show Day on the Avenue.
Okay.
We had 140 cars total, of which 108 were judged. Of that, of course, was 25 winners. And then at about 2 o'clock, we're supposed to have a downpour, which we didn't have a drop. Weathermen paid so much to be so wrong. But we called the winners early. 5 left, packed them down, they all got their awards. As you all know maybe, we canceled last year early, which we should not have done. Again, supposed to rain, 7 a.m. that was it, and Joe, you and I were standing in the sun came out. So anyway, that was a little report, that's basically what I have. As a commemorative of the event, we have what everybody calls a dash plaque, and I have one for everybody here, which I'm going to give.
Thanks for always being involved, too. You guys are fantastic. You're a neat addition. And I want the blue 57 Chevy. Thank you.
55 won, best show.
Thank you, John.
Is there any other questions, maybe, perhaps?
How did it go? Were the people happy with what?
Oh, I believe so. Of the 108 that got judged, they're pretty much happy. We always put the previous year's winner on the dash plaque. This was 2 years ago. He sold the car already. Was it? Anyway, any other questions?
No.
Okay, fine.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Paul Sheets?
Yes.
Do you have it?
Yes, I'm Paul Sheets. I live on New Avenue, 524. I'm new here. I moved here recently in 2021. And I have a concern on our streets that I'm trying to get everyone involved in. It is the safety of the street because people speed. So you come from Station Street, it's a 10-mile-an-hour turn. You come from Bank Street, it's a 10-mile-an-hour turn. I've seen people almost crash, I've seen people run up onto the sidewalk. It's a little concerning to me. Now, I've gone to the, I don't believe I've met this chief of police, but I've spoken to one of the previous. I've spoke to PennDOT Harrisburg. I've spoke to Mr. Joe, the manager here. I'm just kind of looking for answers instead of a wild goose chase about who I can speak to try to make results happen. The people on the street would like speed bumps. Is that possible? We don't know yet, but that's what we're trying to do because we all have kids. And I grew up on East Street in the north side. Same conditions. They are getting speed bumps now, thankfully. My mother still lives out there. But every winter, somebody would crash or run into someone's house. I've watched a woman's face hang off of her head. It's scary stuff when there's cars that weigh 3,000, 5,000 pounds flying because they think it's a drag strip. And I will be honest, I'm a bit of a lead foot when I'm on the highway myself. Now that I have kids, I have shoes hanging from my rearview mirror to remind me to slow down for my children and for the neighborhood people. So I'm just trying to figure out what I can do to enforce. I just want to be directed to the right people.
Thank you. Right now, we'll take everything you say under consideration, and we'll work with the chief of police and the borough to
I
try to
appreciate
get
it.
something.
Thank you. Thank you
All
guys
right,
for your
thank
time.
you so much.
Appreciate it.
Justin Thomas.
Justin Thomas, 517 Dewey Ave,
Thank you.
right across. So yeah, basically,
We started this.
I started this journey 2019. So predates some of you, but yeah, it's the same wild goose chase in the circle. And then PennDOT did a study. They did it in the middle of COVID. So COVID skews all the data, right? And they gave some answer that it wasn't worthy to either remove the right turn exception or reduce the speed limit. So, yeah, just following up, I've been in his shoes. You know, we both have young kids. You know, crossing streets it's like a barrier, right? Like I gotta cross the street. You know, a kid. You know, it's a pain, right? And it's a 25-mile-an-hour zone. It's a residential area. PennDOT, I know, use it as a connection for St. Clair to have their people zip through there to get to their highway fast enough so they can make their big money. But what frustrates me continuously, obviously, it's everything he said, is that if it's a state road, is Mayview a state road all the way up to where it meets Boyce? Does anyone know?
I believe it.
So when you get to OTB, that's what speed limit is. 25. Okay. And when you get to the end of Hastings, the last entrance exit of Hastings, from there to there, it goes back to 35. So if you look at the South Fayette Code, that's because it's considered a residential area. That's a business, that's one, and 2 entrances to Hastings, and Recreation Road for Fairview Park. It's 4 intersections. Anybody know how many intersections are between Lesnet and, we'll go Greg? More than 4. Pedestrian crossings, vehicle crossings. So even South Fayette was able to get in their code to consider that a residential area. So I don't know, just trying different angles to deal with the pressures from the state. So, it's just frustrating because you see it happening on a far less residential area, and that the state's giving them leeway. And the same thing you see at McDonald. I don't know how McDonald's roads work, but I assume Nobletown is a state road. They have an all-borough 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. So I don't know if we can set up a new code or something to create that enforcement to get some leverage, but so that's that. As far as like other enforcements that we could do, look at like, equipment violations, your loud cars, that's against the law. We have, we're a law and order country. Window tint, tires, truck tires outside the wheel wells. I mean, we can start, that's clearly objective too. Doesn't get, you're not dealing with all the, you have the white lines, or I forget what it's called, but you can't have radar, so it's like, maybe more police presence, pulling cars over can help reduce the people traveling from other towns through our town to get to their highway. So, just different things. Traffic calming as well. So like I said, speed bumps, paint lines. Like, if you paint lines on the road where the cars can park, you narrow the visual of the road. We talked about that. We've made great efforts in that. It's simple, it's cost effective.
We will look at alternatives to speed control, all right?
Yeah.
Having lived on Bang for 10 years, I
Right.
know exactly what you're talking about, so.
Yes, it's just, it's bad enough we gotta deal with the triaxles all day, and then, no offense, so you got people with their muscle cars or whatever cars that they, need to show off, zipping up Bank Street, that's disruptive, and, I understand where we live, but it's first a residential area, not a highway. So, you have the electronic signs that coming into town on Washington. There was down in McLaughlin that says slow down, slow down. Do those collect data? Does it work? Does it?
Yeah, the police could generate reports off of
Okay. Now, could you levy that against the state? I don't. Like say, because they did their traffic study, they just say, we did our study, you can't see me, right? Like, very cryptic, which is weird. It's my street, I live there. You work for me, you're the government. And it's like, so can we say, no, we see that, even if you have some other way of tracking speed data to prove that it's excessive, and just common sense, it's a highly residential area with tons of cross-street, crossroad traffic, cyclists, dog owners, kids, who aren't going to do everything perfect. The drivers don't do anything perfect. They're all on their cell phones. None of that gets enforced. So,
All right, Justin, we have to.
But that's a very good suggestion. That's something that's been much different than we were sitting in this seat
Right.
5-6 years
Right.
ago, where we didn't have those tools that
Right.
we do now, like in the police and the engineer, where
Yeah.
before we consider making another recommendation
Yeah.
for a specific speed reduction or a stop sign change, we could run the data ourselves and present
Right.
that with the request. That's something that'd be something different,
Yeah.
other than
Yeah.
repeating the same thing over again.
yeah, is there any way to do it without the sign? like,
Yes, we have estimates through the engineer.
You can-
okay, just because like when PennDOT does their speed test, it's just two giant black wires on the road that everyone knows.
Right. All right, thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
All right, Cody Phillips, please. Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you finally in person. I'm Cody Phillips, and I live at 1044 Sarah Street, and I'm actually here probably echoing the same exact concerns. So I've actually moved here in 2012. I'm not originally from here. I'm from down south in Georgia, so you might hear the accent. But I grew up in a very rural area, so imagine the shock coming to a more urban-esque area. So I'm here specifically in my area, which is the Coolidge, Harding, Forbes, Grandview, Bank, Lesment. All of those roads right now are acting as a cut through for Upper St. Clair drivers. They're cutting through the neighborhood just to avoid the Bank and Lesment intersection on their way to Chartiers because they're trying to get to the interstate. And with that comes all the dangerous driving. We've got speeders that speed from stop sign to stop sign. We have people that don't even stop at the stop signs. And also they're really aggressive towards the people that live there. I have people honking me all the time just because I stop at a stop sign. Okay, I have people who gesture at me because I wait for traffic to pass instead of pulling out in front of them in a very small window of opportunity. So I know myself and my husband have both raised this with the borough manager, chief of police as well, in early June. We were told that an officer would be in the neighborhood more frequently, but we really didn't see much change as far as need for additional patrols. We ourselves documented additional incidences. I have a dash cam, I keep it in my car all the time. I have video, which I've shared with council, of somebody running the stop sign and almost hitting me. She slammed on brakes to avoid hitting me. My husband was walking our dogs and videotaped 4 people running a stop sign at the Sarah and Winfield intersection all at one time during traffic in the morning. So, and it really didn't take long to get this video evidence because it's a pattern. It's a daily pattern. It's not something that happens occasionally. So, and obviously we all know there's ongoing construction. You know, we have People's Gas Company. We also have paving out on Sarah Street. You know, I want to make sure that it's fully understood, I should say, that the issues existed before the construction. The construction just only amplified the issues. Okay, they made it 10 times worse, especially on the 7th last week when the paving company closed all the roads and there was no signage, there was no flaggers to let anybody know that these roads were, that Sarah Street was closed. So all of those cut-through drivers during rush hour traffic in the morning ran into a closed street and didn't know what to do. They all spilled over onto the side streets. They came flying down Forbes while my husband was walking the dogs, talking to one of our neighbors, and the neighbor had to yell at him to jump out of the road into the grass because a vehicle almost hit him and our dogs. Okay. After that, the neighbor chased the guy down, got his tag, and it was reported to the police department. Both my husband and the neighbor, you know, confronted the driver and also reported it to the police department. And that's what we're dealing with in this neighborhood. You know, and again, like I said, while the road closures, the construction, and all of that has made that situation worse, you know, it existed before and it's going to exist after the construction is done. I'm really thankful to get a new road. Trust me, I'm absolutely thankful to get a new road. But this problem is still going to exist. You know, these are residential streets where people walk their dogs. We have kids that walk up and down the neighborhood to ride their bike. When I first moved here 14 years ago, no offense to anybody sitting here, but it was a different demographic in my neighborhood. More and more younger couples are moving in. I just had a kid last year. I have a 1-year-old. We just celebrated his birthday, and I want my neighborhood to be safe. One of the best and greatest things about moving here was Halloween. I never had a Halloween growing up because I lived off a dirt road where nobody walked from house to house. But when I moved here and all the kids are walking around, and it's just nice to have question in the posted speed limit. Right now, it's 25 miles an hour, and as I said, there are people who have to walk on the street, okay, with their kids, with their dogs, and it's 25 miles an hour, and that's because there is no sidewalk, okay? I also want a firm commitment to traffic calming measures, okay? That includes speed bumps. That includes a traffic study, painting lines, put a visual representation, as you said, on the road that will slow down drivers. You know, do bump outs to, get people to force them to slow down. And this is for both sides of the neighborhood on Bank Street, because the whole cut through goes through there. So, and I do understand that, the planning commission from the meeting minutes, that they were just awarded the $2.4 billion from SPC funding for the roundabout, the planned roundabout, and that's gonna help. But until that construction begins, we need something to help the neighborhood now. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Move on to business. I need a motion to approve the June 8th, 2026 regular meeting minutes as submitted. Any questions or discussions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion passes. A motion to approve the July 2026 bill list.
So moved.
I need a second. Any questions or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes. A motion to approve the July 17th, 23rd, 31st, and August 7th, 2026 payrolls. I need a motion. I need a second.
Second.
Any questions or discussions? All in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Motion passes. A motion to adopt ordinance number 1036, an ordinance of the Borough of Bridgeville amending its Code of Ordinances, Chapter 1, Administration and Government, Part 4, Sections 401, Police Department Organization to designate the rank of sergeant to lieutenant.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
Do you have any questions or discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes. A motion to ratify the adoption of resolution number 2026-18, the resolution of the Borough of Bridgeville authorizing the submission of the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation banner permit application to display the Bridgeville 125th anniversary celebrations banner over Washington Avenue during the month of July. I need a motion. I need a second. Any discussions or questions? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes. A motion to adopt resolution number 2026-19, a resolution in the Borough of Bridgeville pursuant to ordinance number 1036, reclassifying the ranks of all current police sergeants to lieutenant.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes. A motion to adopt resolution 2026-20, a resolution of the Borough of Bridgeville authorizing the submission of a Pennsylvania Multimodal Transportation Fund Program Grant application for the Coke School Park sidewalk improvements project. I need a motion.
Make a motion.
Second. A second. Any questions or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes. A motion to authorize the execution of the legislative pre-disaster mitigation, also known as LPDM grant agreement, to accept a $712,500 grant from FEMA for the Commercial Street Culvert Replacement Project. I need a motion. discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes. Congratulations, Jim.
We're getting there. This is the start of, the budget's reopening.
All right, a motion to authorize the sale via public online auction at www.municipbid.com of the surplus public works dump truck number 6, which is a 213 Ford F-450 dump truck. I need a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Any questions or discussions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes. A motion to accept and pay any commission due through June 2026 real estate tax collector report. I need a motion to approve. I need a second.
Second.
Any questions or discussions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion passes. A motion to acknowledge receipt of the June 2026 Treasurer's Report. Any motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Any question or discussions? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. A motion to accept all submitted June 2026 official report. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
A second? Any questions or discussions? All in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Motion passes. Reports. My administrative report here is somewhere. What I do is find it. Couple of things that happened for the administration part of it is that Bridgeville Days was a huge success. Many thanks to Cheryl Valentino and Cheryl Blowrock for doing such a great job, along with the police department and the fire department and the ambulance services and all the volunteers. We greatly appreciate it. Do we have ideas as to how much we made off of the,
We'll have a finance report for you after next month. There's still some bills coming in,
Okay.
but we'll have it wrapped up within the next couple of weeks. So when we
Alright.
come back in August, we'll have a report like we usually have for you.
okay. Secondly was Jason Ferry and I attended the June Connect meeting in Crafton, and the main discussion was how communities can support the fire department. And one of the things that the person that presented said was that people have a tendency to forget that the fire department is totally dependent upon donations to survive, as opposed to the police department, which is totally funded by the municipalities. So I'll get you that PowerPoint. I've not received that yet. I think there's a lot of good information in there, and I did appreciate that particular lecture.
If you don't mind me adding, I was struck by, they gave a lot of statistics that were very impactful. One, talking about the number of volunteer fire department people year 2000 versus today, and the numbers today are 10% of what it was in the year 2000. It's striking, whereas the number of fires are higher than ever. I'm sure the chief knows about that. And you guys do a wonderful job, and the pressure on all the local fire departments is immense. I think there's a general concern among all the communities of how can we better support our fire departments.
And then Bridgeville's 125th celebration starts Saturday, July 18th with a 5K race. Am I taking anything away from you?
No, do it.
And it starts with a 5K on Saturday. One of the important things to always remember is that Baldwin Street and McLaughlin Road will be closed at 6 a.m. I'm sorry? For paving. So that is the administrative report. All right, next up is finance, Jason Ferry.
Just a quick balances for the borough performing as expected. There's nothing out of the ordinary for the second quarter thus far. And residents should have real estate taxes being in the mail soon.
Do we have to pay them?
They get mailed today, and they went out and chased it.
All right,
Shoot the messenger.
Yeah.
Parks and Recreation, Shane Franchek.
Thank you, Madam President. Just to piggyback off you said with the 125, I know we do have a couple activities starting this week with the 5K on Saturday morning, Nick?
Yes.
And there will be some road closures as we talked about. Followed by, there will be, the BAA has their duck race going on, time to be determined based on when the Bridgeville kids are playing. It will be updated on Facebook, and I'll shoot you something, Joe, just to put out there if you don't mind. But basically, there's 500 ducks dropped in the water between noon and 2 on Saturday. If anyone's FAA drone approved pilot, we might be able to live stream that. Looking forward to it. Drop 500 in the water. If you pay an extra $20, Joe will throw the bad ducks backwards. You're good with that. They all go down. The kids are welcome to come down. If you haven't been down to Chartiers Park, there is a little beach area where it's anywhere from 6 inches to a couple feet of water, but all the kids, it's been pretty cool. Mayor Betty has been the MC the last couple of years. Haven't asked her yet. I'll get to you. I'll call you like Friday night at midnight. It's really cool. So there'll be 500 ducks float down. Anyone that wants to swim with me and save the ducks, you can. It lasts all of maybe 40 minutes, and we clean all the ducks up. And
Where's the takeout?
what's that?
What do you take them out? Do you put it in at Chartiers?
We put them out, yeah, right at the bend, right as you come down Chartiers Park, right if you're heading towards
And then
Lynch's
you take
Pond.
out.
We put 500 ducks right there. Mayor Betty shoots her rifle. It's amazing. Shotgun, right?
Takes up.
Kills a duck.
Yeah.
That's how we started. And then it's about a quarter mile, half mile down. And then
Behind the mulch pit.
right at the beach, yep, behind the mulch pit. And I think we get pictures every year. There's probably about 50 to 100 kids in the water. So water's high right now. That's good. Well, for me and the ducks, not for the kids, but somebody's got some. But no, it's our 4th annual year doing it. I think this year Joe Verducci is going to float with me. I don't know if he's here. Oh, good.
Does he have to wear a swimsuit?
But no, after that, we also are going to have a prayer service on Sunday in Triangle Park between 2 and 5. I believe there's a parade from noon to 2-ish, noon to 1:30.
On Sunday?
12:30. Sunday, 12:30. And that will start at Bethany Church, yes, thank you. And it ends at the fire department, so. All right, Chief?
Yes.
Go with that, Chiefs? Sorry, Chiefs. That's all we have. It's gonna be an exciting, long week of fun. Nick and I are looking forward to it. It's gonna be, and Jason too, he'll be starting off with the 5K. Jason Ferry, that is.
We're still accepting runners, by the way, for the 5K.
I think we're up to 143 right now?
Yeah.
So,
So, Nick's gonna jump in.
Thanks, Madam President.
Justin, I expect to see you there.
All 4 of us will be there.
Public Works, Jason Strasky.
A couple things going on. Currently, street sweeping now underway, the 3rd full week of the month, on Wednesdays in the business district. Also, I think in the process of doing is the line paint on the crosswalks and traffic markings underway right now. So, if we can get that all painted and a little bit more brighter, make people slow down a little bit in the walkways and the crosswalks. Also doing truck maintenance and grass cutting at the properties, park, athletic fields, right of ways and lots. We're just working away every day.
Public Safety, Nick Chaselsky.
Thank you, Madam President. Again, want to expound upon what we said about Bridgeville Downey Avenue. Thank you to everyone who helped out, the volunteers, the police, the fire, the EMS. All of these things that we do in our community are not possible without our public safety. So with that being said, we are continually working on our police department's collective bargaining agreement, and I would like to take a moment to thank our community members for coming in and bringing up their safety products on Dewey, Whitfield, Bank, and those side streets. It is something that is near and dear to everyone's heart, the safety on these streets in our community, especially because we want to aim to be such a walkable community. So bringing those things to our attention and that we can focus on with our comprehensive plans, with our planning commission, we really do appreciate you taking the time to be here. So thank you so much. We love it when it gets onto the ears of our chiefs. They understand the plight just as much as you do. So thank you for coming, all three of you. That being said, I do know that it's becoming more difficult with the pass-through for our community. We are the bridge to the South Hills, so we have more and more traffic coming through. I know CVS going up. So I want to reaffirm that we as a board and a council take your concerns as community members with traffic and speed limits very seriously. And I know that our fire, the police, and the EMS do as well. So thank you again for coming up.
All right, thanks, Nick. Shar West Council of Governments, Joe C.
Okay, the June meeting every year is sort of called as a bank, so they had a very, very short business meeting. And that was at the Ant Bank, and that was it. So there are no meetings in July or August, so I'll talk to you in September.
Have a great break. All right, Mayor Betty Copeland.
On Saturday, we were invited to join with the chamber in the ribbon cutting for Totem Training Center on Station Street. The president, myself, and former Mayor de Blasio participated. They held the ribbon, and I made some remarks, and we were grateful for the Totem being there, and we wish them well for the coming years. Thank you.
All right, Police Department, Gary James.
Thank you. During the month of June, you have my report. The police department filed 33 separate criminal charges, 43 traffic citations. We responded to 628 calls for service, which brought us up to 4,400 for the year. On top of those, we conducted 107 traffic safety watches, where we are doing speed compliance checks, intersection, stop sign, those types of compliance checks. We issued 43 traffic tickets, 32 verbal warnings. I was also aware of the complaints about the Sarah Street, Winfield Street area. My officers conducted 18 separate traffic details from June 9th through August 9th at that location. Or I'm sorry, July 9th. There were 2 violations noted that they were issued citations for. Other slow speed rolling stops, there were verbal warnings issued also. I don't have the exact number of the verbal warnings. We are aware of the issues of the cut through at that location. The main time that we are aware of is in the morning rush hour when Lesnet Road backs up. The people turn down Harding Street, they turn down Sarah Street to cut over to Winfield to get to Chartier Street. So we are trying to monitor that as much as possible. Dewey Avenue, this is a first for me. I haven't heard of the complaints along Dewey Avenue. We are aware of Bank Street though. Yeah. If it's Bank at Dewey, you know, the 10-mile-an-hour speed zones, we can look at some different things to do, but we do put our signs up on Bank Street fairly often. I have years of data. I will get with the borough manager. I will pull all that data from Bank Street. That'll tell me the number of cars, the lowest speed, the highest speed, the average speed, those types of things. So we'll keep abreast of it. And like Mr. Krzyzewski said, safety of the residents is our #1 priority. Anything that we see motor vehicle wise that is a danger, we do take enforcement actions fairly consistently. So, having said that,
I do have one question.
Yes.
someone explained, the prior chief explained to me that the distance between when the speed sign and before you get police involved is a certain length of time, at a certain distance, correct?
You mean when we're monitoring speed?
Correct.
Yeah, the minimum distance that we have to clock vehicles, the minimum distance we can use is 100 feet. We can't go below 100 feet, we have to have 100 feet of clearance in order for us to clock vehicles. Also, 5 vehicle code law, because we are using time distance devices, not radar, we are required by law to give 10 miles over. So we can't even begin to pull people over till they're going 11 miles an hour over the posted speed limit.
The amount of damage from like 25 to 35 that a car can do to the human body is exponential. I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna argue that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's plenty of stuff, like, so that's frustrating. I mean, I know it's on your fault. I mean, is there a chance you can get radar? Is that allowed in municipalities yet?
We are prohibited by state law from
Yeah.
using radar.
Right, the next.
I thought they were loosening that and then.
State legislators have been working on and promising and predicting that they were close to the finish line on that since I think.
Yeah, I've been here 36 years, Tom, they've been working on it for 30 years.
Yeah, I know, 6 years ago, it was like.
So, I mean, but if we are able to get radar, would be able to enhance our ability to clock vehicles like they are going this amount of speed right now. I don't have to give time distance. I don't have to have clear sight lines. I don't have to have lines on the roadway. Those types of things that we have to do. The side streets that you're talking about, the problem that we have speed-wise on the side streets is where do we sit where we can see? Because you have traffic parked on both sides of the road. So it's hard for us to see, plus it's hard for us to get 100 feet. Because on most of these side streets, they're going from one stop sign to the next. So within the distance that we would be clocking them, they're slowing down anyway.
Is it possible to calculate the speed they're going over a distance using our ring cameras?
I get like 6 of them.
I mean, can we use that? Absolutely not.
That's why I wanted to ask.
Yeah,
Because
I
I don't
mean,
know.
could you do it? Sure.
Right, but if I can't submit that to you and use it in court, it's no good. That's why I wanted to ask.
I mean, I
I
can't
think,
use
yeah,
that.
I think we could, let us talk, all
Cool.
right? And try to figure out alternatives, and then we'll get back, all right?
What about video enforcement? Like cameras, speed cameras, enforcement, is that it? Or stop sign, red light, or, I know we're stars, but.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The simple answer to that is I don't know what we can do. Most of the times I know that they're civil infractions, they're not criminal.
When you talk about the side streets, you have a place to sit. If a resident gave you permission to sit in your parking or.
Sure, we can, absolutely.
'Cause I'm sure there's plenty of
517
residents that
is
say.
wide open.
Yeah,
I in my driveway.
like I said, in an ideal world, there's no cars parked on the street, so I can sit in your driveway and look 50 feet this way to 50 feet this way
Oh, we're like-
and see the lines on the road.
You'll sit way up. You got a ramp coming up.
Perhaps we can look at the laws under which you have to operate, so that we all know them. So, we can try to figure out where we can go from there, all right?
I would recommend everybody contact their state legislatures and tell them to give local police radar.
We'll call that one.
Yeah.
100%.
All right. Jason, Jim?
No, that's okay. I think we all have the same, there's a great concern over traffic.
Right.
I've been here 30 years, and I can tell you the last 5 to 8 years, it's gotten exponentially worse in a lot of areas of Bridgeville, including a lot of areas that were addressed tonight. I talked to a resident probably 2 hours who lives up, your president was having a similar issue up in that area. Bridgeville's kind of like the hub in a wheel, and it's gotten progressively worse. And it's something that I think we all have to grapple with and figure out how to address
I
this.
mean, I get radar, man, we can generate a lot of revenues.
All right, Solicitor Tom McDermott.
Thank you, Mr. President. I don't have anything to add.
All right, Borough Engineer John Howe.
Brought a copy of the engineer's report. few items to keep you all up to speed. Road program is well underway. The parking lots have been completed, and we're about 50 to 75% done with the rest of the roads. 2 of the 3 roads are in the binder. Third road will probably get binder tomorrow, and wiring course for all 3 will be by the end of the week, is what the anticipated schedule is, with barring any events. We're continuing to work with the contractor out that running out the stairs to finish up what he promised to do. He is not responding to our request today. We're scheduled to finish. We're continuing to tester him.
Is that for the grade steps?
Yes.
Okay.
Phase 6. Yes. And then the last item is we are just waiting for the comments they go on the Station Street ADMs. They have everything they needed to their actual paperwork.
And you were saying that you were putting together a list of grants for communities?
Yes.
How's that progress? Okay, we'll get it from you later. Okay.
Yeah, it's in there. We have it as a couple grants due next quarter.
Okay, good.
So it's in the
All right, thanks. Fire Chief Ray Costain.
Thank you, Madam President. Month of June, Bridgeville Fire Department ran 37 calls for service. The only other thing I have to report, other than what was earlier stated with the carnival and thing for the 125 year, is the fire department will be doing a sportsman's bash on September 26th. Tickets are now available. Feel free to reach out to any member of the fire department or give us a call, and we'll make sure that you get your tickets. That's all I have to report. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Southbridge EMS, Leon?
I have nothing to add. My report was submitted, so if there's any questions, otherwise.
Great, thank you. Bridgeville 125th Anniversary Celebrations Committee.
There's usually there.
They all had something to do.
I'll just mention real quick, if you look at bridgeville.org, they're gonna have a lot of the events that are happening next week. And there's a lot of crazy, awesome entertainment, which I think has set up a lot of stuff. If you want to mention any of that.
Yeah, no, I was actually gonna mention, some of the entertainment, but also that there are still tickets on sale for the dinner dance. That's this Saturday, 5 to 11 p.m. It's a Roaring 20s theme. There'll be raffle baskets and fun things going on all evening. Specialty cocktails, come in your best Roaring 20s costume. But beyond that, yeah, starting on Monday, next Monday, we have live entertainment going on from 5 p.m. to about 10 p.m. every evening. Right down here at Commercial Avenue, right next to the fire department. There'll be a stage outside, so I think the first night we've got, oh man, I don't even know, we've got some local bands going on. We've got Matt Baranti Band going to be playing. We have Midlife Crisis, which I believe they're part of our BAA. We've got Melissa Quinn Fox, who's at Bridgeville Down the Avenue, coming back. We've got Bethany Bloom Band playing. We've got their ukulele band playing one day. We've got Bill Ally Band playing one evening. We've got a Solo Rock Revival Band playing one night. We've got the Bhutanese Church playing one evening. We've got international traveling band Zach Kine playing on Friday evening. Cody Shashelski's going to open for him, and Hunter Briggs will open for him as well. And we have Soulful Femme, Steve Wellens, who's a self-produced blues Grammy. She'll be playing Saturday evening. And then, yeah, so we've got some really exciting Platinum Box Band and town local Gary Chavales, straight up all playing. So a lot of really exciting music and entertainment going on. Different food vendors and artisans will be there throughout the week, as well as a little carnival. So come down for the prizes. The surprises, we'll have a lot of contests. Bike decorating, I think Wednesday evening is going to be the Dare to Delight ice cream eating contest.
I think it's Tuesday.
Maybe it's Tuesday, I don't know, but I got a brain freeze thinking about it.
125 minutes of free ice cream.
And that's what it is, 125 minutes of free ice cream. So please make sure you check out bridgeville.org to see all those fun, exciting events that a lot of our community members and volunteers have been putting in the last, year and a half, 2 years, and they all great. So appreciate you guys all coming out.
Thank you. All right, Historical Society, Lisa's not here. Yes.
We don't have any programs until September, but we're still open Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, 10 to 2, and we do have new caps and new shirts for sale. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Bridgeville Library Representative Erin Weaver.
Yes. We will be collaborating with the Historical Society to create a display celebrating the anniversary. We'll be featuring photos and other items from the Historical Society's collection in the library, and that will be on display for folks to come in and see a nice photo representation of the history of Bridgeville in celebration of the anniversary. So that will be on display next week and hopefully a little longer than that, so folks can stop by and see that. And then next Friday, the 24th, is the next Pittsburgh Classic movie, and that will be Sabrina, and the movie will start at dusk. And then Saturday, August 1st, from 11 to 12, will be office and school supply swap. Thank you.
Thank you, Erin. Bridgeville Parking Authority, Deb C.
Before I give my report, I would like to add Cook School Road to the traffic pattern. That's a raceway from Upper St. Clair. I want to put a toll bridge up there and charge them. But I've almost been free. They run right through the stop signs up there by the park. Somebody's gonna get killed. There was a car right there, was it Ridge Road? Yes, whatever, they're so fast. There you go. Put that on the radar. All right. The Parking Authority is going to have their meeting next Monday night here in this chambers. Our landscaping for 2026 will be completed in the fall because we can't prune any of the trees that are hanging over in parking lot number 2. Let's see what else we've got here. Trash pickups continues monthly in all lots. And just as a little aside to that, our enforcement officer has asked us to purchase a broom and a dustbin because he wants to sweep up the litter in lot number 2. Personally, I said the businesses should buy it for him because it's their litter, but we're buying him a broom and a dustbin because he wants to pick up the beer cans and the trash from the restaurants in the area. We're still waiting for a response from the DA's and Palace office regarding the request for assistance to help offset the cost of upgrades for our current camera system. The installation of additional signage in all lots has been completed. The BPA will discuss the submission for electric vehicle funding through PennDOT NEVI Community Charging Funding Program now that the window is open for the western region of Pennsylvania. We want to put some charging units for electric vehicles in a couple of our lots to help improve, I guess, the businesses and people can charge while they're eating. We have obtained some estimates for the tree trimming in lot 2, but we can't do that until October, November because the oak trees will die if we trim them at this point. The biggest thing right now is that lot 2 paving has been completed for the front half. That cost us nearly $82,000. It took us about 3 years to get the money because when I got on the board 4 years ago, the Parking Authority was $82,000 in the red. I'm happy to report to you we are operating in the black. We made some changes, we did some due diligence, we cut some foolishness, and we now can afford to pave the parking lot. We're still working on a plan to offer parking spots for storage for small campers, boats, and little trailers that are no longer permitted to be parked on long-term on the borough streets. We're thinking of lot number 3 on Baldwin Street. So that's about all I've got. If there's any questions, I'm glad to answer them for you. But we love Gino, he's doing a great job, and Chris Perkins is our enforcement, and he's just built such a good rapport with our businesses.
Thank you. All right.
Looks great.
Yeah, it does look nice.
I thought so too.
Bridgeville Planning Commission representative.
At our June meeting, we were discussing streetscaping at both the south and north ends of Washington Avenue. North end, we're talking about doing something that would be movable and reusable in the future when the north end reconstruction is done. And we also discussed the Live Well Allegheny program, which is will be a commitment of the borough to focus on some health improvement measures for the community. So we're investigating that, so that we can make a recommendation to council about whether we want to participate with that. And we do not have a planning commission meeting in July.
Thank you. Borough Manager Joe Carr.
A couple items. On the agenda was the branch contract for the LPDM. award, that, to show how long that was a congressional appropriation, or Senate appropriation from Bob Casey. So it was nice that with the budget being reopened, we were able to get that moving ahead. So with that grant contract, they said that it's going to take a couple of months to get that fully processed to the state and then up to FEMA. So we're on track to probably give John the green light in the fall to put the project out to bid. So hopefully everything holds tight, that we can make this happen. With the 712 FEMA grant, the 300-some thousand we got last fall from Representative Kulik, and then the $1 million gaming grant we got a couple years back that Senator Robinson was able to help us with. We have $2 million ready to go for that project. So we're hopeful that the estimate, the bids are within the estimate for the project. And it's nice to finally have contract in hand. We're ready to rock and roll with, we call it phase 1 of phase 1 for our flood control project. Regarding the overall flood control project, the BRIC grant that got taken away from us last spring, traction is being made to restore that funding. We received communication from FEMA that no more environmental review is necessary for that grant. It's now what they consider a programmatic review. And once we receive that bureaucratic checklist check off, we're ready to proceed with that. And then we're going to try to do some budget reallocations because that was a $5 million grant. With that, we're now taking the culvert out of that and doing it separately, so maybe we can redirect that money to the levee because we know prices have gone up dramatically over the past 2 to 3 years. So at least we have some very good news to report on FEMA funding, and we're on track to get this project rolling later this year. So it's very exciting. So hopefully coming back here in a couple months, we'll have everything teed up on the grant contract so that we're ready to go to bid here soon.
Remind me again, what is phase 1 of phase 1?
Phase 1 of phase 1 is strictly the culvert replacement. So currently, for those in the audience, under Commercial Street behind the Dairy Delight, there's 2 large metal tunnels that carry McLaughlin Run under the roadway there. That'll be replaced with a single span culvert, essentially a large bridge, so that the center pier, which acts as a cork during high water events, would be removed. And if you look big picture, the county is in the works to replacing the Bower Hill Road Bridge in 2030, which is only 4 years away now, and that will remove that center pier so the waterway will be unobstructed, essentially from Baldwin Street to the confluence with the back channel. So we're making good progress there, and it's nice to finally have a grant contract in hand and accept that. And it's really exciting that we were able to amass $2 million for that project. So let's see where it takes us now for the BRIC project. But at least we're moving in the right direction. It's been told that it's being restored, and we're receiving communication that certain levels of environmental review that took 2 years to get us to last year are being. With that, on the agenda was a request to submit a multimodal grant. This is a project of the Active Transportation Plan to construct the missing sidewalks up Ridge Road. If you walk up Ridge Road now, the sidewalk ends abruptly in the area of Vesper Street. The Active Transportation Plan finishes that sidewalk from Vesper to Cook School Park, and then on the other side, it makes a sidewalk from Cook School Park to get you on the Pessavant. So that project is estimated by John and his team to cost $301,000, and then the grant exceeds 75% funding. We received project support letters for that project by Senator Robinson, Representative Kulik, our county council. So we're hopeful within a couple cycles we'll have some traction there. But it's another active transportation project being implemented within the short amount of time that we've done that effort. Some boroughs associations recognitions. The boroughs website and our newsletter received recognition from the State Association of Boroughs. Our website won a 3rd place award, and our newsletter received a 3rd place award. Cheryl Glowwork and our office should be commended for efforts to keep the website relevant and current. Within the next couple weeks, we have some household hazardous waste collection events going on in town. We promoted it heavily within the newsletter, but there was also a text message that went out, the website, Facebook page. But just so people know, we have the annual household hazardous waste collection event. That's the one that charges you fees to get rid of chemicals, paints, electronics, and what you have. On Wednesday, July 22nd at 9 to 1 at the firehouse. Registration is required, and information is in the newsletter that's on the table, the mini newsletter that goes out with garbage cans. There's a free TV and electronic event that here in Bridgeville also coming up before our next meeting, and that's Saturday the 8th from 9 to 1 at the firehouse. And thanks to Ray and his crew for allowing us to host it there in Carolinas. As John was saying, that road paving's underway, but there was a neat little thing that we've done in a couple of years now. Going into road paving, you probably saw, but we dedicated 2 of our road guys to reconstruction catch basins on the streets that we're paving, or we have pavings going on way, so that once that road's paved, all the issues of like sanitary sewers, storm sewers, we addressed everything we knew of going in there and rebuild catch basins. And over the past couple of months, Bill Chilio and Jeremy Heffernan have been very busy putting new catch basins in on all the streets we've been paving. And they finished up last week and they did an excellent job. And that work there saves the borough thousands upon thousands of dollars. The new dump truck, that one that we authorized for disposal, came in last week and went right back to A&H. There was some issues with it, but it's being replaced under warranty. And it was nice that we were able to pick that out before it got put into service. The Chartiers Park Shelter 1, there's some minor punch list items that are still outstanding, but most of it has been completed. The new picnic tables came in 2 weeks ago, so everything there. We just got the scratch on the roof we got to fix, and other than that, the project's done. The other thing I wanted to bring to your attention, it was included in my monthly report, was the Baldwin Street traffic signal. Back in the middle of June, a truck struck the traffic signal because it's sagging low. So the traffic signal is our only dinosaur left of traffic signals, and it's supported by 3 guy wires. The guy wires are all stretched, and they are suspended by poles that we went to West Penn Power to address. Our traffic control folks said that they can't restring the signal unless the poles are replaced. We know that the poles are safe, and there's so much clutter on the poles, getting them up higher is going to be difficult. So West Penn came back just last week and says, those are not West Penn poles, you need to go to Verizon. So I talked to the Verizon service manager today, who has a local connection, so it's nice. You got a guy who knows the streets and can pick up the phone when I call him. And he's going to come out and see if the integrity of those poles would sustain new guy wires. And then he's going to mark on the pole how high we can go up. We need roughly a foot to get that signal at the minimum level. And so hopefully by the end of the week, we'll know either if those poles can take it and we can go higher, and if it's not, it's essentially, I'm going to be coming back to council with a recommendation of what we do with that signal moving forward. So stay tuned, and we got something there that we need to address soon, but it's worth putting on your radar. And then my monthly report, there's other items going on in Noro. If there's any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.
I do have 2 questions. The Army Corps of Engineers meeting on Wednesday is
Yes.
open to the public, correct?
Yes.
Could you explain to the audience what it is?
Yes, so the Army Corps, directed, I believe, by federal legislators, are doing another study of the Chartiers Creek watershed for flood mitigation, flood improvements. And it extends way up into Washington County where the creek starts, and then the little tributaries such as, once you run into Oakdale. And over the past 6 months, they've been doing this study to see what can be done to improve, flooding risks in this watershed. John and I have attended the first meeting, and even we had one recently. So Bridgeville has been an active participant within their planning process for the watershed. Interestingly, after the 2018 flood, you may remember the Army Corps did a study then, but their study then was the cost-benefit analysis didn't warrant any improvements, and they just walked away and did fend for yourself. Interestingly, now with the watershed being much bigger, there is a character detail to do something. So the Bridgeville concerns were addressed and heard and put into their draft plan that they're going to present. Essentially, that plan shows dredging of McLaughlin Run from the Baldwin Street Bridge up by Bruce's Auto and Gallarducci's to the confluence at the back channel, reestablishing sufficient flow at the weir, at the, what should have been the emergency channel that turned into Chartiers Creek as we know it, but back there it isn't Chartiers Creek. It's gonna get flow to go in there. We don't want too much flow, then we would flood lower this side of town, but essentially we need some flow to get the sediment out of there, because right now it's higher than McLaughlin Run, and it gets McLaughlin Run backing up. So their plan shows the weir being reestablished, dredging here, and it was nice. They also incorporated our phase one of our flood project with the culvert into their plan. So that, legitimizes the work that John and his team did to get that plan in there. And so that if by chance funding, we need to keep going back for more funding, it's also an Army Corps identified project within the watershed. And then they'll go into other projects outside into Oakdale and Carnegie and down in Heidelberg and stuff to do improvements. But it was nice that this time around, it really heard, the concerns, the issues, and came back and took some responsibility. But this isn't our first Army Corps study, so let's see where it is. But at least the Bridgeville concerns are in that, and this meeting was their effort to present that to the greater community. And I knew the Army Corps was mailing out letters that those that lived close to the creek or in the watershed.
Did you guys get a letter from the Army Corps?
No.
Or a postcard, actually?
Did you get one? Another one? Your brother's
No,
house?
I got one for Bank Street. This one? Yes, that one.
Yes, so that is.
Yeah, I got one.
Unless Allison's not.
But we shared more for that.
Okay, all right. Yeah. And so what's the timeline for that? I mean, when's that study going to be completed?
We'll learn that.
Okay, all
I
right.
think their study is complete, it's just now they're presenting it.
Okay,
And they're gonna get public feedback of
okay.
what sinks, what floats, and go from there. But from a Bridgeville concern,
Yeah.
I'm very happy that our concerns were heard and put into their plan and their action steps that have been identified. Now, the next thing is getting funding for that, but at least the Bridgeville concerns are in there. So for Wednesday's meeting, the public's invited, but there's no reason we can leave our pitchforks at home. Like we're gonna be okay.
And then lastly, shade tree. Do we need to start including shade tree reports or no?
I think we could. Shade Tree meets quarterly.
Right.
Their next meeting is coming up the first Monday in August.
Okay,
And there is several agenda items that will be reportable
okay.
next month. I can put Shade Tree on the August agenda.
Okay.
And maybe we could do that quarterly thereafter so that, they don't meet every month. Me personally, I don't think it's fair that they need to come to that every month, but the quarters after their meetings seems logical.
Okay, great. All right, okay. I think that we can call this meeting.
Oh, I motion?
I need a motion.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone say nay? Motion passes.